No one's safe.
Yo, 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 yo. Welcome to the Jump Podcast. In this section, in this episode, we've got a lot of things going on here in the world. Hurt and confusion in LA and all around the world. The riots, all the protesting, all the violence. We're going to cover it right here. But let me bring my panel today. It's gonna be exciting, y'all. And here we go. What up, Vinny? What's going on, bro?
What's going on, bro? Chilling, man. Just, loving this beautiful summer weather. Unfortunately, we got lots of riots going on pretty much in almost every state at this point. It's insane, bro.
Yeah. We're gonna talk about it right here in this podcast. We're gonna bring in another guest I have over here. Here's another brother from LA. Go ahead, bro, and introduce yourself.
Override, what's good?
What's up? It's Override. What's happening, Vinny? How you doing, brother?
Same shit, different toilet bowl. You know how it goes.
All right, don't get no timeouts now. I appreciate you guys for joining the podcast tonight. You know, I really don't like to talk about politics and violence, but
I got my Jägermeister hat on.
Okay, he gets time out right now.
Hey, we love LA. We love LA right now, brother. We love LA.
Jaeger bombs, baby, Jaeger bombs.
All right, now don't get kicked out of the room now. So, you know, with all these riots and everything coming on, you know, I was just in LA this weekend and I left just in time before all the riots were happening. And we're going to discuss this here. First, let me go to Override. Override, were you there from the beginning when they were doing peaceful protesting?
So when I was there, it was on Sunday, this last Sunday. Everything was still peaceful. Freeway closures hadn't happened yet. But when I was pulling up, it was getting pretty interesting.
Pretty interesting. I hear that. And they protesting because of ISIS. ICE. Okay? ICE. I know ISIS. It sounds the same almost,
that was a fraudulent slip, brother.
It's kind of almost the same because
they're both bad. They're both bad, bro.
They're both bad. Now, Vinny, break down what is ICE really quick to those that don't know. What is ICE?
ICE is basically corrupt, tyrannical people who like to violate citizens' rights, basically.
Okay.
They're trying to... Now, listen, I'm all for them getting rid of just the criminal illegals. I'm okay with that. What I'm not okay with is them using that as a crutch to violate regular citizens' rights. That's where I have a problem.
Okay. And let's break down.
I have a problem with them. I have a huge problem with them violating people's rights. Now, you have to understand, our country is based, okay? Our country is based on people coming from other countries to live in America. And the thing is that, you know, these people want to get away from all the stuff that's going on in their country, and they want to live in America, and they want to become Americans. Now, obviously, they're going to be illegal up until they, you know, can finally get their citizenship. But for ICE to just, like, they should just get rid of the criminals and keep the people who are not breaking the law, who want to become citizens. And if they're throwing out everybody, that is violation of their rights as well, because even though they're still illegal, they still have rights in this country. The fact that they're here and they want to become Americans. So for them to get rid of all the illegals, I have a problem with that.
Okay, hold on now. Now, let me ask my brother over here, Override. Override, how long you been living in LA?
Oh, I've been down here in SoCal since 2013.
2013. And it's basically a lot of Hispanics, right? In California.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
So when Trump first attacked the Mexicans in putting up the wall, we never thought that he would attack the whole Hispanic race, you know, because that's how I take it. Do you guys agree with me? That's how it seems right now, that he's attacking the Hispanic race. He's putting all of us in one basket.
At this moment, right now that we're in, it's an attack on Mexicans. It's an attack on Hondurans, Filipinos. You know, just any immigrant here in Los Angeles that is making the Los Angeles culture thrive.
And Hispanics are definitely very proud of their heritage. And
Right.
and what he's doing right now, what Trump is doing right now, is causing all of us to fight one another, because he's sending in the military, he's sending in the police. The police and the military have Hispanic people, so Hispanics are fighting Hispanics. Now, Vinny, let me ask you a question. Do you think that Trump could have came on a different level, like somewhere different than what he's doing now? Because building the wall, number one, building the wall, it wasn't a great idea, but I kind of understood what he wanted to do at the time. He wanted the good people to come in and the bad people to stay out. But today, it seems like he wants all Hispanics, all Haitians, anybody that does not was not born here to get out of here. And on top of that, he wants the people out that wasn't born here, and even if your kid was born here, guess what? They gotta go too. Vinny, do you think that's in the Constitution? Can he actually do that?
Definitely not. But here's the thing: as long as these MFers have qualified immunity, and he keeps every time one of those corrupt, tyrannical people screw up, he pardons them every time. But if the average everyday person like you or me did something, all of a sudden he's not going to pardon us. Oh no. He's only going to pardon, he pardons all the criminals, especially if they have money. He's going to pardon them. Because most likely if he pardons them, they're going to kiss his ass and they're going to put in money into backing whatever corrupt things he wants to do. So
It's crazy. That's crazy. And he actually right, because he just pardoned Hoover not too long ago, and he pardoned the people that protested when he got kicked out of the White House not too long ago, and they did worse than what's going on now.
Prime
You know what I
example.
mean?
Prime example. Look at the Chrisleys.
People died. People died on that.
Bro, but check this out. Look at the Chrisleys. He pardoned the Chrisleys for doing, what was it? It was bank fraud or whatever it was they were doing. It was either bank fraud. It was I forget what it was that they did. They did some kind of like fraud with with funding and stuff. And he just pardoned. They were in jail. They were in jail for, they should have been in jail longer. Because, and he just pardons them and they get released. You remember the show Chrisley Knows Best, right?
Yeah, I remember that show. Yeah,
he just pardoned the Chrisleys recently. Just pardoned the
Crazy.
Chrisleys. Yeah, and it's because they have money, and it's because obviously they're gonna kiss Trump's ass on a big platform, and they're gonna basically now go around saying how Trump could do no wrong, and
it's crazy.
vice versa. Now
hold
understand this for those people out there. I know what you're saying. You're saying I'm shitting on Trump right now. You probably think that I'm a Democrat. I'm not. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a part of any party at all. I'm not.
But let me say,
vote. I'm a libertarian. I'm not a part of any party, but if I was, I would probably be a libertarian. I'm just saying.
But let me ask you guys a question, and I want both of y'all to answer this. When he started his campaign, he said, "I want to make America great." My question is, when was America ever great for us? When was it? When we were getting hanged on trees? When we were getting discriminated? Hold on. When we was getting discriminated? When we couldn't drink at a certain water fountain or eat in a certain restaurant? When was it great? When was it? Go ahead, Vinny.
Well, in my whole entire lifetime of existence, we were never truly free. I mean, over the years, it keeps getting worse and worse and worse. Every time someone new gets elected, whether they're Democrat or Republican, every time someone new gets elected, we lose more and more of our civil rights every time. And I blame Americans for this because 78% of Americans do not know what their constitutional civil rights are. And that is where the government's getting off on violating our rights because they know Americans are ignorant.
Override.
And they're using that to violate our rights.
Override. What do you think about the question I asked? When, and this is his quote, not mine, I'm gonna make America great. When was it ever great? Override, do you agree with us?
It's always been a struggle. You go back in time, it's been a constant struggle. It's been a constant power struggle between people. I mean, we're all people. End of the day, we're all people. We all bleed red. So, I mean, if it was great, we would coexist in a certain way that we would help each other. We would support each other. We would love one another. If someone's falling down, you pick them up. In my eyes, it's never been great. I agree.
Never. Now, I'm going to play a clip for y'all. And I want my brother Override to discuss this clip. And I just want to say, how the heck did Jump get this? No face. But here we go. Let me see here. Give me 1 minute. Okay. Sorry about that. All right. Override. Go ahead and talk about this. So this is downtown Los Angeles, right?
Yeah, it looks familiar, man. Yeah, it is.
Now explain, how did the tension feel? How did the tension feel that day? Was it cool? Was it Did you felt some kind of that it was going to explode kind of thing?
This right here, this video right here, it was good vibe. It was a good feeling, you know. That's why you just see me kind of chasing the crowd. It's just because it felt really good to see, like, you know, support like that. All the people coming together.
It definitely was, you know. And the thing was, it was peaceful until Trump said, "I'm not gonna have this. I'm gonna go ahead and attack California because it has the largest Hispanic group than the whole world." Vinny, let me ask you a question on this. As an activist, were they committing any crime by protesting?
No, it's your First Amendment right to redress your grievances with your government. It's your First Amendment right to protest and to petition. And that's just it. And you even have a First Amendment right to record it while you're doing it. It's called freedom of press. So let me explain something about the First Amendment. The First Amendment has 5 elements to the First Amendment. You have the freedom of speech. You have the freedom of religion. You have the freedom of the press. You have the freedom to redress your grievances with your government, and you have the freedom to petition, which is protest. Those are the 5 elements of the First Amendment. And you have a right to protest, period. End of discussion. You have a right to redress your fucking grievances, period.
And you're right.
Period.
And you're right. Override. Do you agree with him? Do you agree that the people had the right to protest peacefully the way they were doing? Because you were there. So you said it. It was peacefully. There was no signs of it getting out of control until Trump pulled the fast one in California. And now, not only California, but there's several states that are protesting now. And just to let you guys know, Florida announced today that they will have none whatsoever protesting. Do you guys think that's right? Florida saying no protesting. If we smell it and look at it and listen to it, you're going to jail.
They're afraid it's going to wind up like California. Everyone's afraid it's going to wind up like California. Now, granted, like, I mean, I was on the front line in California that day. Like, everything was going smooth. Things were going well. But, I mean, obviously, you also have people, you know, with their own opinions, their own views on things, to where things did get out of hand at some points. But that's just how the world works. People are going to do what people do. Now, you could have plenty of peaceful protesters. Go ahead.
Here's the thing, and I'm going to say this best. Benjamin Franklin, one of our founding fathers who wrote the Declaration of Independence, one of his famous quotes that I live by is, "Those who give up liberty for security deserve neither." It doesn't matter. See, you don't understand. It doesn't matter if they're afraid that it might end up like how it did in California. That does not give them for right protest. They have
no, not at all.
They cannot. They cannot use security because they're trying to protect people to violate our First Amendment right. You cannot. They can't security.
He's breaking up.
Legally, they cannot do it.
Now,
legally, they can't.
Now,
for that reason alone, if I was in Florida, I would protest just to prove a point.
Yeah, to prove a point that you do have First Amendment rights.
It's the one Constitution. You have a freedom of speech, and you have a freedom, to protest, and nobody can take that away from you. Now, nobody. Now, for Florida to even think of doing something like that, they're already taking your rights away. That was given to you before you were born. Now, my other question is to you guys, and both of you guys, I want you to answer this, is do you think that when Trump sent those extra people down there, that shouldn't he have done that, or shouldn't he done more talking and calming the people down? Override. You first, Override. Hold on. You first, Override. Do you think?
So when the National Guard did show up, that support showed up, it was a completely different vibe down there. It was night and day. You still had people doing their things around the city, but around the National Guard, it was a different vibe. So more talking and more figuring out, because then you got the battles with him, Gavin Newsom, and was it right, was it wrong, and this and that. It's like if more research was done, the things probably wouldn't have escalated as fast. But to switch like that within like a few hours and to see and just feel that vibe out there, it was like night and day, because now you got people in uniform. You got trained men and women standing there just waiting. They're protecting a federal building. I get it. But when you're looking at them and they're just looking at the crowd and just like what the fuck is going on? I mean, sorry, excuse my language, but.
Hey, Vinny, what do you think about that, Vinny? Do you think he should have done a little more talking before he sent down the heavy troops? Because let me say this before you answer. It's almost fearful to think that the Navy or the Marines that were made to protect us from other countries are actually against us today, because they on the president's side. They're no longer on your side. What do you think, Vinny?
I mean, I just think that it doesn't really matter what he says, because he's going to do what he's going to do. And obviously anything even if he says anything, it's going to escalate it and make it worse. The man has diarrhea of the mouth.
And that he has a lot of.
Listen, here's the thing with a lot of, I get it, a lot of people don't like Trump, but here's the thing, a lot of people didn't meet Trump. I firsthand met Trump many years ago, back when he had his casinos in Atlantic City, when I used to play in a lot of his poker tournaments. Okay. I actually met Donald Trump, and I knew what a scumbag piece of crap he was then. He's a con artist. Bro, he was kissing everyone's ass. He was trying to get us to, trying to get us to spend our winnings from the tournament in his casino. He was trying to get us, he was trying to get us to stay there longer. He was giving us free food. I'm talking like steak. I'm talking like immaculate steak. I'm talking like caviar. I'm talking like Dom Perignon champagne and shit like that. He did everything in his power to kiss our ass so he can try to convince us to spend our winnings in his casino. So I knew what a con artist he was then. I shook the man's hand, okay? I did it. I shook his hand. Listen, Of course, I'm going to take advantage of the free shit. I'd be stupid not to. but I knew why he was doing it. So I knew what a scumbag con artist he was then. I mean, as a businessman, you got to respect him because he's mastered the art of using other people's money to fund his projects, and then when it goes belly up, he claims bankruptcy and fucks over everybody.
Now, let me say this. Let me say this. I understand what you're saying with the con artist, because when he was first running for president, he promised a whole lot of things. And it's crazy how the Hispanic community voted for him, right? Some of us voted for him. Mm-hmm. And look what he turned around and did to us. He's against us. So he played that card of...
Did you see the video? The lady so happy to vote for Trump, and then like after the fact, it's... And look what he did. Let me play another clip. Let me play another clip here for you guys. I know y'all guys are saying, how did you get this? Well, I'm Jumpstart, and I always have tricks up my sleeve. All right, here we go. So,
you should be standing here with us. You're on the wrong side of history. We know you got a job to do, but you took an oath to the Constitution, not to the
Amen.
In the White House. Think about what you're doing now. Think about what this means. Coming into our community. Peaceful community. People working their jobs. They send in men in military fatigues. Weapons of war into our communities. And you stand here and you allow it. I am sick and tired of it. You should be sick and tired of it. You think any of these people in the White House sending you these commands give a f*** about you? Not one of them do. They laugh at you. Our president laughs at you. He calls you fools. He said the people who died overseas in the military were chumps. That's who you're offending right now.
Do you guys agree with him? Do you guys agree what he's saying about the military will be played as fools because Trump is using them for something that he wants? And what he wants is the whole Hispanic race, not just the bad ones, but the good ones with it. Because as we know, this ICE have gotten into the farmers' land, gotten to buildings, and taking every Hispanic and every immigrant out of the building and put them in jail. Do you guys agree with this man?
Jumpstart. Does this sound familiar to you at all? What does this remind you of? What does this remind you of? It
reminds me of a man who went into a building and his rights got violated. 100%.
No. It reminds me of Adolf Hitler. It reminds me of the Nazi Germany days. That's what it reminds me of. Because think about it. Look what Adolf Hitler did, okay? Look what he did. He didn't like blacks or Jews. Does this sound familiar? But instead of blacks or Jews, Donald Trump is doing the same thing to Mexicans and Hispanics all alike. It's basically the same shit Adolf Hitler did.
Definitely.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. You're absolutely right. Override, what do you think about what that man was saying to those police officers, that he was saying, you guys are being played?
I mean, it's like there's always so much, right? It's like I try to remain neutral as much as I can. But it's like he's speaking truth on one side of it. but then you think of the people on the line, like having to do their actual jobs to support their families and such. It's almost like what do they do? Do they just give up and just give up on their own families? So it's a real sticky situation to where it's almost like a puppeteer master kind of doing their thing to work things in certain favors, I guess, is how I feel about it. Honestly, I was right there with batons in my belly, and we're getting pushed up the freeway ramp when CHP shut down the freeway, and they're in my belly. But I'm sitting there, people are pissed off, emotions are high. They're sitting there telling them, "Fuck you, we fucking hate you pigs." Like they're saying the same things that this man was saying in the video. That some of them just had looks on their face like, well, like what do I do? And me just being down there and then getting the bottles thrown, and I'm getting hit with stuff from other protesters. I mean, just to start some kind of get some sort of feel for the situation and be involved, but in the wrong way. Now that's provoking them. I'm sitting there going like, yo, like, calm down. You want to get down here and be where I'm at? Don't just throw from the sidelines, like get down here. And me saying things like that, I actually had some real emotions with a CHP officer with the baton in my belly. Hey, thank you for doing that. Because that's just him, gas mask on, face mask on, and everything. He's doing his job, and I just like, how do you, but then right after that moment, which I got footage of, his buddy just wanted them to get more aggressive, had a blue dot on his helmet, must have been some sort of supervisor. Next thing I know, we're peacefully, okay, we're backing up. Next thing you know, I'm getting jabbed in the back hard by this dude. Little dude, short dude. I got him on video, right after he's hitting me in the back. Now that type of dude, it's like, okay, yeah, I'm all for I'm ready for a fade on that one, to be honest. It's like how do you find the balance, right? That's the most difficult thing about situations like this. That's my opinion.
Well, here's the thing, Override, and I'm going to say it like this. If that was me, and a motherfucker puts his hands on me like that, I would defend myself. Because here's the thing, I'm all about peaceful protesting until somebody puts their hands on me unlawfully. And then at that point, all the gloves are off, rules go out the window. Yeah. You have a right to defend yourself. Period. Point blank. You have a right to defend yourself. It's the whole reason why the Second Amendment exists. The whole reason the Second Amendment exists is to protect you and your family from a tyrannical, corrupt government. Let me tell you something. Our Second Amendment rights were never meant to be amended. Never. Technically, according to the Second Amendment, we are allowed to have the same grade military weapons as the military. Period. Yeah. But the government amended it so much to the point where we almost have no gun rights anymore. That's number one. Number two, as I was saying before, and this, just like the Second Amendment, you have a right to defend yourself. If somebody's putting their hands on you unlawfully, without any problem, without any cause, without any reason to do it lawfully, you have a right to defend yourself. And if somebody put their hands on me like the way that they did to you, Override, I would have defended myself. And I would have been, I would have. Because I'm a believer.
Yeah, obviously,
it doesn't work. Yeah, but I'm a believer in street justice too, though.
I was pissed off, but then like with me, I'm more like, all right, well, I need to pull back. I need to compose myself, right? Because then now I got to think about my family, right? Now I got to think about all those that care about me. I'm out here just trying to just take it all in, and then it hits everyone differently, but most definitely I was pissed off. It's like, that's why I made it a point to, like, hopefully I got some good footage of him, because like he was the one trying to get aggressive, kind of like the Romans used to do back in the days. They had the shield guys up front, and then what do you think? That's guard. Next thing you know, bam, you're getting stabbed with a spear. It's similar tactics, and that was complete bullshit.
I would have fucked them up. Honestly, I would have fucked them up.
Now, hold on, guys. I understand, you have to defend yourself and everything, but not everybody is built like that. There's some people like Override that don't want to escalate the situation, and there's nothing wrong with that, because
not at all.
this is a sticky situation, okay?
Yep.
Trump is after all of us, okay? It don't matter who it is, because there's people that actually they live here in the United States and have their parents or their family living somewhere else, and they go get a plane, go visit, come back, and they get treated like if they're criminals. They get their cell phones taken away. They go to jail. And let me tell you something, and this is something a lot of people are forgetting. If the lawyers and the judges, with all these riots going on, cannot get in the building, what's happening to the people that are in jail that just got arrested? Because there is a thing of they can't hold you no longer than 24 hours. Am I right? They can't hold you more than 24 hours. You have to see a judge. The judge will have to release you or give you bond or something. They can't hold you there.
But if it's on the weekend, you have to wait until Monday.
Yeah, well, it's not the weekend. It's not the weekend. It's Thursday. Yeah. So we're talking about Monday. So I'm pretty sure those that got arrested, because the lawyers and the judges can't get into those buildings because it's in a state emergency, they can't get into those buildings. What are those people doing in jail still? They staying there for 4 or 5 hours for no reason. They didn't commit no crime. They were just protesting. You know what I mean?
You know what my advice is? If you're gonna
don't get arrested.
If you're gonna get arrested, make sure it's either Sunday through Thursday, because once it reaches Friday, you gotta wait till Monday.
I'm telling you, this ICE situation has gone over the limit. Okay, they're going into houses, they're going into prisons, they're going into your workplace, and they snatching you out of there and putting you in jail. So I think that Trump, I'm going to send ICE there, I'm going to lock these people up, and they're going to go right to their countries, and they have no trial. They're gonna take their amendments away and see you later. Vinny, do you think that it's right for anybody to get arrested? Number one, you have to be arrested with probable cause, right? You just can't get arrested. But in this case, people are just getting arrested. Ain't that violating your right automatically?
It definitely is violating their rights, because in order to be arrested, they need to have reasonable articulable suspicion that you either committed a crime, about to commit a crime, or in the process of committing a crime. Now, peacefully protesting is not committing a crime, and just existing because you're Mexican, or just existing because you're El Salvadorian, or whatever case is. I don't care if you're in this country illegal. I don't care, but I understand, like, he's using, because if you remember correctly, he said, and I quote, Donald Trump says, we're only going after the criminal illegals. But he's using that as a crutch to just arrest regular illegals. And they're only here's the thing. Even the regular illegal people, I get it, they're in this country illegally, but they want to become citizens and they're trying to do it the right way. You can't just throw them out because they're illegal. They want to do, as long as they come into this country and they want to do it the right way, it should be enough for them to stay. You have to understand, our country was built on immigrants. I wouldn't even exist right now if my grandmother didn't escape the Nazis, made it to Ellis Island. They almost didn't accept my grandmother. And the reason why the Nazis took my grandmother, because she was German, she wasn't Jewish and she wasn't black, she was German. But the reason why they took her, the reason why the Nazis took her was because she was harboring Jews and blacks in her house, and she was hiding them from the Nazis. And the Nazis found out, and they ended up taking her, and they were going to execute her in the concentration camps. She somehow escaped, somehow took a boat, made it to Ellis Island. Ellis Island almost didn't accept my grandmother because her ankles are so shackled, and she couldn't even walk up the stairs in Ellis Island. And they almost didn't accept her because health-wise she wasn't healthy enough. But because once she told them the story of what happened, that's how they accepted her into our country. Now, my grandmother, when she was captured by the Nazis, she actually saw the Nazis she saw Adolf Hitler doing a meeting with the Nazis. She witnessed it. Now, if my grandmother didn't make it to Ellis Island, I would not be here right now. So
let me say this. That Trump, I believe Trump has gone overboard. Not only he's doing this, but not too long ago he called Puerto Rico, and this is his quote. I did not say that because I am Puerto Rican. He said the island of trash. He's got a problem with his facts. This is my belief. Do you guys believe that he has a problem with Spanish? Problem with a lot of people, even his own kind.
Here's the thing: Puerto Rico is America. It's American territory.
Yeah.
It's considered America.
It is. Not to him, we're
out of control.
It's not part of the United States.
It's hurt and confusion. That's what it is. Exactly. Perfect title. It's a lot of hurt, a lot of confusion going on. Like who's got the power? Who's using the power? Who's fighting against the power? There's so much involved, man. It's really sticky.
I mean,
now,
in Puerto Rico, you have to understand, Puerto Rico's U.S. territory. It's considered part of the United States of America, and they even use American money. You don't need a passport to go to Puerto Rico. You don't even need a passport to go to Puerto Rico. So it's U.S. territory, and it uses U.S. money, and you don't need a passport to go there. Here's the thing: even though we're called the United States of America, there's no question in my mind we are not the United States of America. What we are is the divided states of America, because our country is divided in reality.
Divided. And
so we're not the
that,
USA. In reality, we are the DSA.
And just to think that a president is supposed to represent us, is supposed to help us, is supposed to understand us, is supposed to be by our side, is the number one public enemy right now.
Donald Trump is the modern day Adolf Hitler.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely is, and it's sad because
Yeah.
he
And
is supposed to.
there's a lot of division. There's definitely a lot of division, like Vinny's talking about. It's division. So you got people that are doing their jobs. You got people in those jobs not wanting to do those jobs. You got people on the front lines standing up for immigrants, while you got other people over here looting. It's so much division. It's ridiculous. It's sad to watch. It was sad to sit there and physically watch all this. Those Waymos that were on fire, they were not on fire when I was there. They were not on fire. I was shocked on the tagging, but they were not on fire. The next thing I did was turn around after I got some footage. Next thing you know, I saw one up in smoke. And then it's like, oh, well, wow, like, we'll check that out. So everyone's getting footage like, oh, whoa, it's not safe. Everyone's getting their footage, getting their pictures, but then people start jumping on them. People start doing that. Next thing I know, I turn around, the second one's on fire. And next thing you know, after that, the third one. The dude, that popular pic where the dude with the gas mask, skater dude, and he's holding up a Mexican flag, I saw that whole thing go down, like with my own eyes. It's definitely, you got people out there doing just wild stuff. That's not the right way to do things. That's not a peaceful protest. So now that's making us look stupid down here for what we're fighting for. Like, and that's not united, like we were just talking about.
Yeah.
It's not united. It's actually very sad. These things, but I could also understand why people do this, because people are
They're scared. They're pissed off. There's so much.
Yeah, our president doesn't have our back. So I kind of understand. Not saying that it's right, but I kind of understand. Now I just got some right now. That in downtown Tacoma, ICE is down there. And I'm pretty sure we're going to see some stuff, in the news. Like, what is going on? This is war in our own country with our own people.
Bro, that's because we're right now, what you're seeing is the beginning stages of a civil war. And here's the problem I have with this. And the government isn't stupid. They know. If we were to have a civil war today, we would lose. And the reason we would lose is because we are divided. Think about it. When we had the very first civil war, okay, the very first civil war, we won. Why did we win? Because we were united. That's how the United States of America got its name, because we were united when we won the first Civil War. But now the government has been, for many years, they've been slowly but surely, every year that passes, it's divide. Think about it. Every 4 years, they have a presidential election, right? All you see is Democrats and Republicans. But do you know that they have the Green Party, the Reform Party, the Libertarians, Republican, Democrat? These are all different parties. And the reason why they have different parties is to show divide. People always fight every 4 years every time they have an election, you always see people fighting and arguing over politics. And they do that to blind you. They do that to blind you because they're trying to blind you from seeing what's really going on. And
All right.
If people just took their head out of their fucking ass and stopped being ignorant, because I'm sorry to say this because I'm American and everything, but Americans are ignorant. Like I said, 78% of Americans do not know what their constitutional rights are. And the fact that they're blind and they believe what they see on the fake news, on the fake media. All right, you want to see real news? Go on YouTube and see the people who are out there who don't work for CNN, who don't work for Fox, who don't work for ABC, who don't work for NBC. Look at the people who are what do you call that? They're independent journalists. That's where you'll find
like
the
Override.
real news.
Override is a journalist because he was out there, he was filming, and that's very courageous.
Right.
And especially where things are getting heated and you're there, and all of a sudden, from a drop of a dime, when something very calm turned very violent.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely, my hats off to you, bro, for staying there and being careful. But it was crazy because when I seen your videos, I was like, get the hell out of there, bro. Get the hell out of there.
I heard it a lot. Like, don't get in trouble, don't get arrested. Yeah, it's true, because like, in the blink of an eye, if I was to do something wrong, in the blink of the eye, if I did something wrong, I could get taken down. Like when they were throwing the smoke, that was when things would go down. When we're on the on-ramp and smoke hit, cameras missed it, people were going down. It's like, yo, and then like the animosity started. And then it's like, am I next? Like that feeling, that vibe that was just right there. It was unreal, bro. So I appreciate you guys showing love and reaching out. I appreciate everyone showing love and checking in on me. But I do what I do.
Override. You and I had a conversation last night about going on the air today, actually. And in that conversation, what did I say to you? I said, as long as you're doing it peacefully, if everybody else wants to be violent, let them be violent. As long as they don't put their hands
hold on.
I said, as long as they don't put their hands on you unlawfully, stay out of it. I said, continue to protest peacefully. No, I told him, I said, continue to protest peacefully like you've been doing. I was like, the only way you should be physical and be violent is if they're putting their hands on you unlawfully. Isn't that the conversation we had yesterday?
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
But hold on. Everybody went there peacefully. And even the looters that were doing what they were doing, I don't know if you guys seen that video of that lady going on air, and she was part of the press, and she got hit with one of those rubber bullets. Out of the blue, she just got hit. So I think even if you go there peacefully, because of what's going on, of the orders that the military and the police got, I don't think it's safe at all to go there right now. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you the reason for that is because the government does not like transparency. That's the problem. And we have the right to record our public officials in the course of their duties as long as we're standing in a public space. Everybody has the right, because now that every phone has a camera, basically, everybody is a journalist if they choose to be. You have the right to record your public officials in the course of their duties as long as you're standing in public. And that makes you, the fact that you were there recording shit makes you part of the press.
That's right. And
you have the freedom of the press.
And it was very brave. It was very brave. I don't know if I would have stood there. I think I would have just hauled butt. Unless I was with somebody like Override, then I probably would have stood there. But if not, I'd have hauled butt because that was just chaos. Police all over the
Jumpstart would have had brown stains in his underwear.
I guess so. All right, y'all. I appreciate you guys for coming on. We got to do a part 2. We're just gonna wait a couple of days. You know what I mean? To see how this folds.
Yeah, maybe. And it's dangerous, but I mean, your boy might wind up out there this weekend, so who knows, man?
Hey, let me know.
I got nothing but love for you, Override. Keep doing your thing, boss.
So Vinny, you have any shout outs before I let you go, since you were the first one in, Vinny?
the only thing I really want to do right now, listen, right now this isn't about shout outs. It's not about clout right now. Right now it's about education. It's about education, knowing your rights, my only advice to you is to be safe. Try to peacefully protest until somebody puts their hands on you, and then by all means, you have a right to defend yourself. I'm a full believer in street justice in that aspect. Just be safe. Be safe. Love thy brother and sister. Know your civil rights. If you don't know what your civil rights are, I implore you to get I need you to get the book Constitutional Law for Dummies and Forensic Psychology for Dummies. Learn this shit, learn your rights, and stand up for your rights, because the more people stand up for their rights, the more we get our country back.
Thank you,
So
Vinny.
as an American, do your due diligence and learn the freedoms that you fucking have. That's my advice to you.
Well, I hope they take that. Thank you, Vinny, for coming on the show, bro. I'll see you later. Peace
Much
and be
love,
careful. And
Love you guys.
and be careful.
Man, I love you, bro.
And override, bro.
Yes, sir.
I'ma say, man. I could imagine, because like I said, I was there. I could imagine, because you lived there, how you wanted to protest, film stuff, and then all of a sudden, this thing got out of control. So I'm glad you're safe. That's number one, because I hear a lot of stories of people getting hurt. Police are just going ahead and just letting loose, showing their power, and but we all do still have a right to have our voices heard, So your final thoughts. What do you want to tell the people that are there and watching?
Be peaceful about it. Like walk on the sidewalks. If you're with the group, continue the march, continue the protest, continue to stand up for your rights. Peaceful protest. Don't do all this ignorant stuff like, looting because an opportunity arose, and just throwing things from a distance when you're not even right in front on the front lines. Like just don't do it. Stand your ground, but be peaceful, be wise about it. Like there's no need to provoke. It's a lot of tension. There's a lot of emotion, but whoever jumps first is going to jump first. And it's unfortunate to watch, but if it's not your fight, you can't fight everyone's fight. So fight your own fight and make that a peaceful one, please. I'm asking you from Los Angeles, just be peaceful and stand your ground in a peaceful manner. There's no need to become aggressive. Things are wrong, but they will get handled. You keep a mental note of things. You get some video footage. Someone's got you on camera, but do it the right way, please. Yeah. It's ridiculous how out of control it got. It was ridiculous to see the Waymos on fire, after they were all tagged up. It was interesting to see, don't get me wrong, but when they start lighting it, that was when I tried to get out of there myself, because that's pointless. Now you're giving them exactly what they want. And that's just making us all look stupid when it's supposed to be a peaceful protest. And what's going to be on the news that night? On the news, fires breaking out, Waymo's on fire, this and that. When I'm watching it, well, no, you guys are not talking about anything else positive that was happening. there was positivity in those crowds. There's people handing out waters. There's people handing out food. There's people helping each other up when someone got knocked down. That was out there. But then you got antagonizers in there, it mixed in the crowd, just doing their due diligence to create a chaotic atmosphere. And that's not cool. Like, in my eyes, that's not cool. So please, if you're going to go out there and you got some sort of self-dignity, please do it peacefully. That's my final thoughts.
Thank you, brother, for coming on the show. It's just historic. And if you go out there this weekend, please be careful, And give me a call, man. I'll go out to LA with you, man. We're gonna go ahead and protest. And wear our LA hats.
Let's go, man. I stay at the ready, man.
Peace, bro. Thank you. And this is very interesting. He's saying it's very interesting how something that Trump wanted to do ended up to be done. Now it's community at the state. And I'm your boy Jumpstart, and thank you for this special edition of the Jump Podcast. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Love, peace, and put God first, y'all.